Welcome to Positive Waves. My name is Matthew Collinson, and this is my great friend.
Joseph Soma.
So today, as you guys know from our previous live that we just did recently, we're going to be talking about depression, and seasonal depression, I think, touches this obviously, and how like the darkness and the time changes can really start affecting your life. But we'll also go into how you can actually begin to take action to control that happening to you as it's happening.
Right, like simple little tricks and tools that we've picked up along the way, through our journey of life. And I don't know, I haven't really talked to you if you've dealt with depression, but I know I've spoken about it in multiple places. I was diagnosed severe depression for a solid 32 years, and it fluctuated. It changed with the time. Some things, would get adjusted and whatnot. Being in uh, consistent care, you're on medications don't work, you're being switched and changed. And for me, that was a really rough road that did not pan out well for me. I spent a lot of years like throwing money down the drain and getting subpar results. So yeah, I figured it'd be a great time to share since it popped up the other day and kind of been floating around lately. Have you had any experiences with the depression there, Mr. Matthew?
Yes, I have. I'm pretty open about everything, honestly. I think that it's important for us to be open about this kind of conversation because I think so many people hold on to it so much and don't talk about it. Um, so I'm glad that we're having this conversation. No, I've been clinically diagnosed depressed since I was a child. Essentially, I was pretty young when I got my first diagnosis, and yes, I did go through a range of medication as well. Did counseling, saw all kinds of
Mm.
people, all kinds of people.
Counselor, psychiatrist, inpatient, outpatient, this patient, that patient. Like, what the fuck?
Well, I think it's important that you do find somebody or something to talk to about the problems that are occurring, regardless of what form that takes. I think just by reaching out and becoming vulnerable, you're going to help yourself dramatically.
So yeah, that was like my first suggestion is I don't want to say get over yourself, but basically get over yourself and understand that everybody goes through shit. Everybody has that personal hell that they don't really talk about. And as we, sit here and openly discuss this shit, it should help people feel more comfortable to just say, hey, I'm having a shit day. You got a minute to chat?
Yeah. I think
Something
acknow-
simple.
I think acknowledging that you're having that kind of a day is important, and it's okay. You have to be okay with it being the way it is. That is the isness of it. I love saying the isness. Like I learned that from Eckhart Tolle. It's I know I'm geeking out on this so much because I've been wanting to talk about this with a lot of people for so many years now, and I haven't set it up yet until now. So I'm really excited about this because that's kind of one of the first mental steps I took for myself to really start getting my brain oriented to where I wanted it to be, is learning how to get back to this present moment, this now moment. Because once you do that, you can learn how to release all the stuff that we hold on to in life.
Right? For me, it took a while to find my way to that now, this present moment. My issues, I had many traumas, many childhood traumas, abuse, crap like that, that just piled up and piled up and piled up. So in other conversations, I've told people I deal with a million thoughts a millisecond, and when the majority of those were those unpleasant self-hating, self-criticizing, this person said that, I'm feeling this horrible, all of these things keep going on, whatever it was at that time, which was quite a bit. It took a while for me to get out of it, and for me it was making that choice. As we've spoken before, I decided that counselors weren't helping, therapists weren't helping, medications weren't helping. And I had to decide, do I want to just keep going to something that's not helping, or do I want to try another way? And I started doing what, a lot of people do, and just start finding stuff on YouTube that just felt good. And I built from there. I started finding those little positive things in my life, and started building. And it took quite a few years to find it, because I at one point lived what I would just basically call an extremely miserable life. I had nothing to be happy about, nothing to look forward to. Um, at that time in life too, I had multiple suicide attempts, and it just, I was meant to stay here, because some of the crap I've done to get out, and it didn't allow me to go. So when you're literally trying to end yourself, it's not easy to find that positive thing, but definitely find it. It can be minuscule to start, but find it.
Yeah, I was just watching I saw Jordan Peterson on TikTok, I believe it was, and he is talking about his like 12 principles and that kind of thing. And he was saying, like, if you stare into the abyss long enough, you do see the light, but you got to stare at it long enough to see the light.
Few years, like I said, it took me a few years to get that mindset to start to switch into following a more positive path, or looking for the things that brought me joy. And a lot of times I had to find the things that made me happy, not finding something outside of me to make me happy. So it's really going within.
That is straight truth, man. It all begins within. And I think that you need to be happy when you're by yourself without anything going on around you, no distractions. If you can't be happy in like the quiet, centering times and just being in this state of being, I mean, we're these spiritual beings having this human existence, and it's really fun to play with that thought process and not understanding like that you should be having fun with this. I mean, yes, there are hard times. Yes, there are crappy times. Yes, there are dark times, but you're meant to feel all of it, because if you don't feel one side, you can't feel the other side.
I
So if you have
appreciate it.
felt extreme darkness, you can feel that extreme light side as well.
I feel that's the swing I'm on. I feel I'm finally leaving that horrific past, and creating a beautiful future, because I know exactly what I don't want. And for me, that was a big lesson learner when going through some of that crap. Was, I didn't see it at the time, but as I look back, it taught me what I don't want, what I won't accept. And, building those boundaries, and not allowing people to bust through with their, beliefs of what I should do for them, or whatever's going on with that. But I do like how you brought up the sit quietly, sit with yourself. If you can't sit alone by yourself in silence, uh, yeah, that for me, starting my meditations, I couldn't do it. I thought I was sitting there for minutes. No, I was barely breaking 30 seconds before I couldn't hold back the thoughts, or focus on the breath to just keep my mind on something else. Like they just come, flying right back in. It took quite a while of consistent practice to get up to just 5 minutes. Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, it's so centering and weird how it happens too. It's not so much holding back the thoughts in any case. I feel like it's more of a surrender situation. I'll let them flow through you and over you, because that's the crazy part about this whole living thing, is like we're in like this constant state of energy just moving always. We're waves of energy consistently moving all the time. So as those thoughts are flowing through us, we're supposed to take the tidbits that we're supposed to kind of latch onto and use those to continue to expand this energy or this way of being, whatever that means to you. Now, the question is, what direction do you want to take that? Because you have to ask that question first. What do you want? What do you really, really want in life? And if you're not living towards that, you're going to find a lot of pain. You're going to find a lot of cycles that you're going to keep repeating until you decide to grow out of that.
Exactly.
That takes
Exactly.
time.
right? But it's starting to recognize it, and it's taking that moment to be vulnerable with yourself to really get in touch with you. And we're taught from a young age, or at least, child from the 80s here, I was, that you're not, you're a guy, you're a man, you're not supposed to feel emotions, ignore that, release. And with that mindset, you're never really allowing yourself to feel the emotion and release it. You're just shoving it down into a corner, and it's bubbling up, churning, creating issues nonstop until you finally revisit it and release it and work through whatever pain point that might be associated with it. And I know for me, meditation didn't work well from the start. I had to go other routes, and I found breath work. For me, the breath work was a great meditative state, and there's something about the conscious breathing that really helps to leave the mind of a lot of negative self-talk and just release and let things go. So yeah, if you're willing, we could do a couple breaths associated with depression and anxiety release.
I was thinking I would love for you to lead that and do that. And then right after that, let's make sure we get in tune for the card pull as well.
Yeah, I should pull that down. Get those ready.
So I'm ready when you're ready, my friend. Let's lead us through this.
Right on. So get these off to the side. So really, there's many different styles of breathing out there. And for people with depression, really just breathing is beneficial. And it's difficult because we're sitting, our shoulders are forward, our chest is crunched in, we're closing off our lungs. We're not allowing that oxygen to come in. So a good exercise is to lay on your back to start your breathing exercises, or make sure you sit up straight like Matthew was just doing, pulling those shoulders back. And just as simple, pull it out and just do deep breathing. So instead of a shallow breath, allow yourself to fully exhale your lungs of all air, and then just fill them up, pushing the chest out, pushing the belly out, and then releasing and filling up again. Just go ahead and empty your lungs, and then inhale fully. You just feel that chest expanding, those lungs pushing out, the belly filling, and then releasing. You don't have to hold it on this style breath. You can just do a nice deep full inhale, full release, full inhale for about a 20 count, and just allow yourself to become present as we discussed earlier. And go ahead breathing in a nice full breath. And you can go through the nose or through the mouth with this one. Releasing at the top. And you'll notice after like 5 or 6 of these, you do start calming down just a little bit. And I didn't get a chance to study the science about it, but I know it does something with releasing hormones to allow the nervous system to start calming down. So in any type of moment of depression or anxiety, just take that moment to take those deep breaths. I know my parents said it to me quite a bit as a kid, and I didn't listen. Here I am telling people to do it now. Like, how ironic, right? Another breath is basically like an equal breath. So if it takes you 5 seconds to fill your lungs at a nice calm rate, not forcing it in, not taking, your dear sweet time, just nice, relaxed, inhale. Say that's 5 seconds, then exhale for 5 seconds. Then inhale 5 seconds. And exhale 5 seconds. So you're not really going as deep as the deep breathing, but you're pacing yourself. You're allowing that calmness to start flooding through the body. It's amazing how controlling your breath can really control so much of your physical body. Here's a fun one. So I'm going to have to get your grippers ready. Grab your index finger and your thumb, and we're going to be blocking off a nostril. So this one is a little more detailed, so I'll go through it a couple times. It's not as simple as a deep breath or timing your breath. So we're going to pinch off the right, let's start with the right nostril. So pinch off the right nostril, and we're going to breathe in through the left. Then we're going to switch, pinch off the left, exhale out the right. and then inhale back in through the right. And once you're fully filled your lungs, pitch back off the right, open up the left, and exhale, and then inhale, filling back up your lungs through the left nostril, and then we'll pinch back off the left and exhale out the right, and then inhale again. And so basically you see the pattern. You fully inhale through one side, block it off, exhale out the opposite side, and then inhale, and then switch again. And you do these for as simple as a minute or up to 15 minutes if you feel need be. But these are some great breathing exercises that I have used throughout the past few years to help calm my mindset, help calm my depressions, my anxieties. Because as an empath, I feel others' energies, and sometimes it takes me a couple days to realize that's not mine. It's coming from somewhere else, or being in a crowded place, feeling all of them bombard you. I'll find myself just pushing the cart through the store and just relaxing, breathing those nice, slow, equal breaths. I'm about 7 seconds in, 7 seconds out. And for me, that helps me make it through those moments that really make me want to jump out of my skin sometimes.
Feel that, man. So I found like I learned centering exercises when I was in martial arts from a pretty young age. So I'm very much in that zone of when I feel all those things hitting me. It's like, okay, how can I center myself? Whether it's like latching onto an image, taking a breath and focusing on the breath, just kind of closing my eyes and just feeling for a minute and being for a minute can help to reorient how you want to be thinking, especially if you're having a rough go of it. I mean, because I get that, man. We all go through that kind of stuff. Like every single person goes through stuff. And it's those untold stories that we're not describing that people don't understand about us. And that makes us feel frustrated with ourselves. And I think we can heal that a little bit if we can learn these kinds of things, though, these kinds of exercises.
And that brings me to the card, because what literally flew out of the deck is you need some fucking yoga in your life. Ancient shit is cool.
I love that. That was perfect.
Yeah, I like how, because it literally shot over there onto the floor. Beautiful. But yeah, great little conversation today. And I know neither of us are medical doctors or anything, but we have experienced it and we have gone through things. And if you take these simple steps to just calm yourself, take those breaths, you can get through just about anything within a matter of moments. So just remember, it's only a moment at a time. Breathe, you'll be all right.
Yeah. I also do encourage you, if you are going through this currently and you're kind of just feeling it and that kind of thing, please like come to this event with that we're going to do on Thursday, because if you can learn how to bring yourself into the present moment and center yourself, I'll make sure I get a Power of Now kind of recording that we can listen to, the meditation piece of it. And we can get centered together, and together is so much better, guys.
Right. Right. And if you are in a bad place, please dial 988. That is a hotline in the US for multiple things now, not only just a suicide hotline, but you get to speak with someone about a depression, an addiction situation that just from what I've read, it sounds like they've made themselves available to be open to speak to somebody who needs to speak to somebody at that time. So definitely 988. Remember that number.
And on that note, I think we will let you go today. Thank you for joining us today on Positive Waves. Please subscribe and send this to anybody that you feel this could help, because depression sucks by yourself, guys.
Right.